How's it going, everyone? In this episode, we're gonna get the cabinet all ready to be put back together. You can see I took the coin door out because we got to do some work on the coin door. It's kind of a little rusty, a little wusty. And I got it up on my cart here. I removed that pile of crap panel that somebody had put on to cover up that big hole. We're not going to put a complete bottom on it because the rest of it's good. We're just we'll square this off and replace it with some Luan, which is thin plywood instead of this. I call it cardboard wood. Cardboard board, whatever the hell it is. We'll square that off and get that put on. That'll fix the bottom. Nobody sees the bottom. We just want to keep it so nobody can stick their hand up in there and get quarters. You can see I scrubbed this side of the cabinet. This is the good side that has all the artwork that's easy to see. So I got my tracing paper down and got started doing our tracing so we can make some stencils so we can repaint it. The other side's the side that is really faded. I mean, it's kind of worse than that. You can see what color it's supposed to be. Nice red, and that's kind of whatever. But we'll get some stencils made, and we'll paint the whole cabinet yellow, and then we will put our artwork back on it, and it'll really brighten it up and it'll look really good. I've had pretty good luck making stencils and painting cabinets. So this one really needs, if the other side looked as good as this, I wouldn't bother with the sides, except for here. I would straighten this out and put some art back in here and redo the whole front. But since the other side needs to be re-stenciled, we're going to do the whole cabinet. That way it looks good on both sides, looks really good on both sides and matches. Because my yellow, my red and my blue is going to be a little off. As far as color-wise goes, I buy the colors that they have in rattle can, which is the yellow, the blue, or the red. We only have 3. On this one, it's pretty nice. We have a lot of red to do. Let me get you up here. We have a lot of red to do. Which makes it easy because then there's not very much blue. Kind of cramped in here. So there's not much blue. So it'll be pretty easy once we get the red done on it. And we let it sit for however long the blue will go right on. It's just a little bit here and there. We have the Klingon ship and some on the planet. So that's not going to be bad at all. It's getting the Enterprise cut out will be the hardest part because there's a lot of intricates in this. But we'll get it. The Klingon ship, there is some, but the Klingon ship's not so bad. And yes, I do cheat and use a ruler on our straight lines. You can just line it up and trace it out, and then you have really nice straight lines. But I will continue to trace out our artwork and start getting this ready to do all the body work on it. Got quite a bit of body work to do. Got some of the plywood separating here. We'll get that all glued down. We got to get this filled in here. And I think there's a little bit in the back. Front's good, and the other side is just faded, but the plywood's still good. So it's not going to be too bad. We'll save our serial numbers. Ooh, yes, got to save our serial number. But, okay, I'm going to continue to trace out our red, and then we can come back and do our blue, and we'll only have two stencils because we only have 2 colors to put on our yellow. We got the red all traced out. You can see our Enterprise, our planet. Hardest part when we do this is when we put our stencil down, is these strips are going to be left alone. These 2 strips come down through the planet, and they're going to have to be held down somehow so you can paint. If you just leave them, they're going to kind of want to wave a little bit, and when you paint, you're going to just paint right under them. So that's something I got to figure out, how to keep those down so it'll actually, you know, give us a decent line. Doesn't have to be crisp because, you know, a lot of it has some feathering or overspray, whatever, underneath or over it. A couple other small areas that we'll have the same problem with, but for all in all, it's going to be these 2 right here, what we're going to have the worst problem with. So now I'll get those ones put up and do the blue, and then we can start cutting out our stencils for the side, but we still got to get the face traced out. Once we do that, then that's all we need. As I've explained this before, once you do one side, you take it and you flip it over, and it mirrors the other side. The other side's the exact same, only instead of this side, it's the other side. Alright, so let's get busy and get our blue traced out. And now the blue's all traced out. Got our Klingon ship all traced out, and our planet, the blue in the planet. Yeah, now it's time to start cutting out some stencils. I'll probably, I'll do the front here too. We'll get that all done. That way when we start sanding, we don't have to, and start working on doing the body work, we don't have to worry about screwing something up that we haven't traced out yet. So all I have to do is just stand this up on its butt, and I can trace those 2 colors out, and we'll be ready. But our tracings are done, and we can start cutting out stencils anytime we want. So I think I'll do that, 'cause it's a little cold right now to be doing any filler work or anything. So I think I'll start cutting out some stencils, and then I'll work on tracing the coin door area out too.
Next.
got our cabinet just about ready to be primed. I just got to mask off a few areas and we can prime it. I fixed the bottom, put a new panel up front here. That was probably from somebody trying to get into it. But so far so good. I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. I need to flip it over and get the door hole masked off, so I'm not throwing in a bunch of primer and paint on the inside when I'm doing the face here. It's coming along. Did all the filling that needed to do. Got that all squared away, where that big chunk was out of it. We have all of our stencils ready. This is the red, blue, and front door. So we got all of that ready to start stenciling it. I need to get it masked off and then we'll prime it and get it wet sanded, and then we can put some yeller on it, get it all yellowed in. While I'm doing, when I paint the yellow on the cabinet, I'll redo my yellow on my back box. I had some screw ups here, so I had to shoot it blue again. And it's been sitting over here for quite a while. Now it's all covered with dust. Still working on the play field. Now we need to get our cabinet all squared away so when it comes we can start doing some boards. I think I got everything to do them. In fact, I know I do. The only thing that's questionable, I think, right now is our soundboard. But let me get this flipped over and get started on getting it masked off so we can get it in gray. Well, we got our cabinet yellow, that's for sure. It's a nice yellow. I got it wet sanded, and now we're getting ready. We're going to put some stencils on it and get our red done. Here's our red stencils. Let's see, cutouts. There's the, you can see the little cutout up top. That's what I kind of go by. Get that up in there. I got a couple little pieces to pull out here, but I just wanted to. And then I did do I had a goof when I was cutting out. I kind of missed, so I had to come through and put in a little piece here, which is okay. We can tape him in there and it'll be fine. And let's see, our next one will be there, and the last one will go up there. Now the hardest thing, see, I'm not worried about some of this. This is all going to be red. The hardest part's going to be getting we got these two lines here that have to stay yellow. So we got to get them. That one I did cut long, but we'll get that. Hardest part's going to be taping these together and then keeping them weighted down. I need something really thin to put in here to weight that down so it'll stay down and we don't get a whole bunch of overspray under it. But as you can see, I got a lot of taping to do. Get a lot of stuff masked off. Get these taped together, positioned right where I want them. That way we can throw some red on it and get it, at least get this side started on the red. So I'm gonna get all my stencils, get this side all done and ready to be painted. And I'll bring you back and show you what I got, what I do to, you know, get everything all taped down, and I'll show you the stencil after I get it all taped down. Alright, now what I do is I got my stencil all down, taped down, and you know, you can see where we have gaps on the stencil. I have a basket for these security. I have taken these off of pinball machines and off of video games, and I just take these heavy dudes and just kind of lay them all over the place to pin the stencil down. You can see some of them I've used these so many times, I've got so much paint on them that I'm only going to be able to probably use them a couple more times, and then I'm going to have to clean them. Because you can see I leave dirt lying around. So what I have to do is go back and clean it all up. I try and rub them together a little bit so I can knock some of the crap off of them. The more you have pinned down, you know, the better it's going to be. And then in some of the, I saved all the bolts and nuts and all that stuff off of those. And let me see here. You know, and I'll take nuts and bolts and put them where I can't put anything else. You know, it's too small of an area. Like in through here, I can set that nut right there. And washers, anything to weight it down. Where it needs to be weighted down. Anything heavy that you have will work. Just make sure you're inside the lines. Alright, I'll finish getting this all pinned down the way I like it, and then we'll get some color on it, get some red on it. Okay, when I spray these, finish the lid off, I try and spray directly down on it. If you spray on an angle, you will be pushing it under. So spraying directly down on it. You're going just on the stencil, not trying to force the paint under.